Hello, Esveiri.
Hey, KG.
How are you? I just wanted to spend some time with you and let the world get to know who you are a little bit better. Um, a question that, I always, a lot of us in the real estate business come from different backgrounds. So what did you do prior to real estate?
So I love this question. And just being in real estate, I learned about so many real estate professionals and their backgrounds. And I always thought everyone had some sort of financial background, but like yourself, been getting to know you, you come from the hospitality and restaurant business. So I found that very interesting. But myself personally, my parents grew up in the restaurant business themselves, so that just gave me an insight of what entrepreneurship is. But I wanted to be hands off. I didn't want nothing to do with the restaurant business. So as soon as I graduated high school, I did waitressing for a bit.
Why didn't you want to be part of that business?
It's a lot of work.
Yes.
It's a lot of work. I love cooking, but that's just one aspect of the restaurant business.
Right.
But just keeping up with the whole brick and mortar type restaurant model, it takes a lot of work, energy, and money.
Correct.
But it's fun. But I'm very number driven, and I was always curious in the banking world.
So you transitioned from restaurant life into banking, lending?
Yes. As soon as I graduated high school, got a job as a teller, worked my way up. And I would say about 2020, that's when I officially started lending, mortgage lending.
So how many years did it take from being a teller to get to lending? What was that path like?
It was a lot of learning, a lot of growth. So I started in 2012.
Okay,
So up until 2020, that's when I officially started mortgage lending.
got it.
But prior, even through that experience, I would say 2015 is when I officially started lending, more so on the home equity
Okay,
type of products.
got it. So I find that interesting because, as you know, in real estate, the mortgage professional is someone we rely on heavily, right?
Yeah.
So how did that experience help you be a better realtor?
So it made me understand people's stories better and be more empathetic towards everyone's situation.
Mhm.
Banking really made me understand how people live their lives and pretty much what drives them in meeting such goal. So entering real estate, I absolutely keep that in mind, is just be kind and empathetic to everyone. And that just allows me to enjoy my job and not just focus, on selling a home, but understanding people and their stories and what is driving them
Right.
into the real estate journey.
Do you feel it gives you an advantage because you understand the behind the scenes of lending? You understand what the real estate professional needs to do. So, does it help you become more aware of problems that could come up in the real estate transaction itself? Does it help you, kind of avoid any pitfalls that could come up? Because as you know, in real estate, things can go wrong fast.
Absolutely. Looking back at even banking and helping people in their day-to-day, operations of managing their money, all that knowledge, I bring it to the buyer consultation. So I don't just focus on showing the home, but I also prepare people, even if they're not ready, on how to manage their money, what good credit looks like, and making sure when it comes to writing contracts, it's an easy and seamless process, because going over a contract, I'll just bore you.
Right.
So for me, it's preparing them in the buyer consult in a way that fits them as a person. And that ultimately gives all of the buyers that I work with a stress-free, real estate
Got it.
journey.
I think it's a good advantage because a lot of times people will come to us with a pre-approval letter. Let's say it's 300,000, or they'll come to us and they'll say, "Well, I don't want to go above 300,000, or I don't want to go above 250,000." But they don't really know what that number means, right? They just have that number in their head, but they don't know what that translates to as far as a monthly payment. They don't know if you could spend 250 in this neighborhood, and you have another house in a different neighborhood for 250,000, but the taxes are different, so that will affect your monthly payment. So the fact that you're taking the time to break down what their payment will look like per house, and before they go out, before they fall in love with a house,
Yes.
you're kind of setting the expectations and the kind of roadmap per se to what they can expect. And I think that's an advantage your clients receive from you.
Yes, that's absolutely a thing that I do on the back end. I run all the numbers. I have all the numbers ready at the showing. And like you mentioned, different areas won't come up with the same numbers.
Right.
So that's important for me, is coming in a showing, but not just showing the property, but also providing the mortgage information for that property. And of course, for me, the big thing is working with lenders that will be on call and ready to go with any follow-up questions. So
Right.
I really, really, really pride myself in doing that.
That's right. At this point, we know, there's good lenders and there's great lenders and there's some we just avoid, right? So the advantage that your clients will receive by working with you, they don't have to lose out to multiple offers because they have the wrong pre-approval letter. At this point in our career, we have the right lenders. We have a great team relationship with them. So I think your buyers also can take advantage of that as well.
I agree.
That's good. So who's at home depending on you to make this business be successful and, ultimately change the lives of your life, your family's life, and hopefully the generational wealth of your legacy?
So coming into real estate, my big why is it's my parents, then my kids, and my husband. But
because you saw their restaurant business and just ups and downs.
Entrepreneurship is definitely something that, is not easy. And seeing my parents' ups and downs through a lot of economy changes,
Right.
especially in a non-recession-proof business model, I learned a lot. And coming into real estate, my big why and the way I move is because of my parents. Right. So it's important for me to show them and my family that real estate and entrepreneurship is doable throughout any economy that we're in. But a lot of what I've learned comes from my parents. So for me, my big why is showing my parents and thanking them for all of their hard work and work ethic. And I want to prove to them, entrepreneurship is doable in all economy changes.
Right. I think that's great because they'll, maybe you're not opening your own restaurant at this point, but I'm sure they're still very proud of you because you're your own boss. You have your own business. It just happens to be in real estate. And real estate is where, if you look at any profession, that's where people build wealth.
Oh, yeah. My dad has always told me, and I'll say it in Spanish, hija, cómprate casas, la renta es donde haces el dinero.
Oh, yeah?
Basically, what that means is, daughter, buy real estate, you're going to get your wealth through cash flow of rents and equity.
Right.
And I never listened.
And he owned some
until-
property too, correct? He owned a
yeah.
few different properties. So it's not like he just did a restaurant. He owned other
Yes.
properties. He probably still does. So it's in your blood.
Yeah.
So that's good. And how old are you?
I'm
Let's hear it.
my
You're young.
birthday's next month.
Yeah.
I'm entering the third decade
Where I'm
of
going,
my life.
yeah, where I'm going with this is I wasn't doing this when I was your age, right? I was still in restaurants, still hustling, still grinding. You know, it's just I love this. I see 22, 24-year-olds, sometimes 20-year-olds buying 2-family homes. I wish I could have started like that. I mean, that's the blueprint of what every young adult should be doing.
Yes.
Buy your 2-family home, live in there for a year or two, collect the rent from the other side. You're almost living there for free. And then when your career changes or your life starts to go up, which it should be, you move out of there, keep it as an investment property, then you buy your next property. So if I could go back in time and start when I was even 30, I mean, I would have gone back further, but I just wish I could rewind time and start when you are at the moment. So I'm a little jealous of that.
Yeah, I definitely agree with what you're saying. You know, part of, me helping first-time home buyers, it's not just buying, but also helping them build that roadmap of, managing the mortgage, equity, and staying within budget so they can continue buying property. I think that's very, very important. Just looking back at banking, getting to know how people manage their money, it just allows me to better educate what needs to be done so they can continue that investing journey and leveraging equity.
Do you have goals for next year to buy any investment properties?
So a big goal of mine, and we kind of started, my husband and I, but I would love to continue investing out of country.
Yes. Yep.
So that's definitely a goal.
Yeah.
Buy a bigger home and build in Mexico.
That's a great goal. Would that be somewhere where you may want to retire one day or be able to go back and forth?
It'll be to go back and forth, but quite honestly, I want a place for my parents.
Got it.
Would
they like to live there? Because they're here now.
Yes.
Right? So would they like to, are they retired or not yet?
They're going to be.
They're soon to be retired. So if you had a place for them, and would it be the city where they grew up or nearby? Or would it be that special? Or you don't have to name the place, but
it'll be somewhere nice, warm, and a place where the nietos, their grandchildren, can go visit grandma and grandpa.
Perfect. That's a big motivation, and that's a big goal, right?
Yeah.
So I know people that are doing that as well. They usually they'll buy the land, right? At least you secure the land and where it's going to be. And then as your career grows, then they start building. Right?
Yeah. So KG, you've been in business for quite a while and you've come from hospitality. What would you say is your biggest motivation and being able to manage your day as a father, team leader?
That's a big question. It's a lot. Yeah. So my biggest motivation, I would say, is never having to work for anyone ever again. It's just there's a couple things to that. The restaurant business itself it'll eat your life up, right? So, I remember I left the restaurant business in 2012. I was with a company At one point, I managed 23 restaurants. So I had the whole state of Wisconsin. I had like 5 in Ohio and a few in Minnesota. And they would fly me all around the country as well to fix restaurants. So I had all these 23 restaurants. I had 600 employees that reported to me, both managers and employees. You make like, I don't know, I was making like 120,000 a year, which everybody's like, all right, you made 100,000. But what's your life? I worked, like you said, your parents, I was working 60, 70 hours a week. I was being flown around the country to fix restaurants. And usually your family's not there. There were some trips where I could bring my family, but most of them not. So I had a moment where I was like, are you going to see your family ever, or are you just going to work for money? And I was like, well, I do want to have money, obviously, and have a good lifestyle and be able to do things with the money. Money's good for what good money can do. I want to be in a position to help people, so I wanted to do it on my own terms. And then that's how real estate came in. And it's not like most people think. They're like, oh, I have a real estate business. They just picture us laying around in our pajamas and not going to work. They're like, oh, I'm going to make my own schedule. I was like, okay, good luck with that. I mean, I'm very good at time blocking it and controlling my schedule. However, you have customers, and if they want to see a house, you go show it, right? So it's funny when people think that I get into real estate for quality of life, and it can be a great life balance, but usually in the beginning, it's not like that because you have to work a lot and you have to build your business up. So my main motivation, I would say, is not having to work for somebody. The other motivation is, to be able to have my wife stay at home, which she does. She was able to do that with my daughter. Now she's doing it with my son. I just think that's big. Because, a lot of people, I have a client right now, and she owns daycares, and we're selling 3 of her properties, and she's buying another big house, a very successful business. And I was talking to her, and I was like, who do you take care of? She's like, Kevin, I have 2-month-old babies up to like, I think 5 or 6-year-olds, usually about that age. And then she's like, I'm their mother. They think I'm their mother. They are with me all day. The parents pick their baby up around 5 or 6, and what do they spend like 2 hours with them, right? And then they go to bed. Yeah. So that's my motivation. I want my kids to know me, and I want to be there for them. So that's my big motivation. The working for myself and providing for my family so we could do life on our own terms.
All right, KG, so you're a very, very busy person, and you're always there for the team, and you're ready to pick up the phone whenever we need to reach you.
And that's a lot.
How do you manage your day with all the craziness of real estate?
Right. Let me ask you a quick question before I go to that. When you joined the team, did you think I would have time for you like I have been?
Absolutely.
You did think? Oh, you were at least hoping, right?
I made sure that you did.
We talk a lot because, you got a lot going on. But the answer to that is it's time blocked. So, I'll give you the quick version of it. So I look at my goal for the year. So if I want to sell 60 houses for the year, right? How am I going to do that? What do I have to do? It's not just going to happen, right? I have to be purposeful with my time. I can't allow people to get in the way of that. So that's time blocking. Where a lot of realtors fail and where they go crazy and where they burn out is they don't protect their time. They're like Pop-Tart realtors. So if somebody calls them, I want to see a house, pop up, and they go. What do? I look at my schedule. I see what's on my schedule that I've blocked. And I say, if I'm have something blocked from 10 to 11, I'm not going to pop up and go show that house unless it's an absolute emergency, with which 99% of the time it's not. So I'll say, how is 1 or 2 o'clock today? Would that work for you? And 9 out of 10 times that works. So if you just take a step back and you don't pop up to everything that comes your way, which is tempting, especially when you're new and you want business, that's how you protect your time and get things done. So back to setting my goal for the year, then I break it down by the month. So that if I want to sell 60 houses in a year, that's 5 houses a month, right? Yeah. So if I need to sell 5 houses a month, I need to know my conversion rates. That's why I enter my numbers every day on my daily tracker, because I see how many conversations I have, how many listings I take, and that gives me my conversion rates. So if I have to talk to 6 people to get 1 listing, how many people do I need to talk to that month? I have to talk to at least 30 people that month. So in the morning, you'll see I have time for when I wake up and have devotion. It's memorized. I could walk, except for today because we're here. It's a little bit different, but I blocked this and I had to give up the gym today. But devotions, time with my daughter. I cook her breakfast. I'm home with her. I get her to the bus. When I take her to the bus, I head to the gym. And then I know I can be at the gym from 8 to 10. And then when I'm done at the gym, I have my lead generation, different way. I have my DTD2 is in there. I have a SOI hour where I follow up with past clients. So basically, I'm setting myself up to win before noon. So I want to get all my big stuff done before noon, which frees me up to go show houses, go on listing appointments, and then help people like yourself that are on the team. Now, do I take phone calls if you call me at 10 and I'm in the middle of it? I do, because you're usually quick and to the point and we get it done and then I get back to it. But blocking your time is very important. What Gary Keller was alluding to when he says, you could be anywhere you want to be in 5 years, obviously that takes work. You just don't wake up 5 years from now and you accomplish everything you set out to do. You have to do the daily activities, you have to block your time, and you have to be extremely purposeful. So would you say you want to be in a position in 5 years, which will go like that you're in a position where if you want to keep doing this, you do it, but if you don't want to work anymore, you would be in a position where you don't have to?
I would want to be in a position where I don't have to work.
Right.
And love what I do. And I currently love what I do. I love helping people through real estate.
Right.
So for me, it's taking on the day, and eventually everything will come. Mm-hmm. And I think it's important to have fun doing real estate, and everything else will come afterwards.
Right. Well, it's been fun for me to watch you. Well, we've been together 6 months or so now.
Yeah.
Because I remember when you came in, I remember the frustrations and where you were at. And I was like, what did I tell you? I was like, just make noise. Just be in activities, right? People are watching, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because they were watching you. They weren't running to you. They were on the side watching you. I was like, get busy. I was like, and I was feeding you open houses, and then you started to get them on your own. So you were staying busy on social media. You were doing activities. You were staying relevant in front of people. So I think that's been good for you. And now you're reaping the rewards. People are starting to gravitate to you now.
Yeah. I think the important thing is to get out of your comfort zone. Without pressure, there's no diamonds.
Right. Is that your favorite quote?
Yeah. As of right now, yes, because you just have to put yourself out there, especially as an entrepreneur. You cannot be a secret entrepreneur. You need to let the world know what do you do and how you can help make someone's life easier. For me, it's educating and helping people build wealth through real estate. So it's very, very important coming into real estate. Don't be that secret agent. Let everyone know what you do, how you can help them, because there's always watching. They're always watching.
Right. And here's the other part, and it's sad to say this. It's just a fact that all realtors are not created equal. I've brought on many clients who were with a different realtor at one time or another, didn't have a good experience, weren't getting a house, weren't winning offers. And I had many of them, especially last year when it was really tough. It's easing up a bit now. But like, we wrote 6 offers and we haven't got any accepted offer. There's a one couple in mind. I won't say their name, but I took them on. In fact, so they were done with their contract and they were frustrated. They're like, I think I'm gonna sit out for a while. I was like, don't do that. I was like, where do you want to live and what kind of house do you want? Let's find it. They're like, all right, we'll try it. And then that weekend we went out looking for a house, found one they like. We had to beat 6 or 7 offers. We won, obviously. And, I just talked with him yesterday. I called him yesterday. He was on my list to call. His name's Joseph. And I was like, how are you guys doing? I was like, how are you liking the house? And they had it needed a little work, but it still had like 6 offers on it. So he's like, oh, Kevin, I updated the kitchen. I put in hardwood floors. I'm also taking over my wife's mother's cabinet business. So now not only are we talking about his house and how I helped him, but now I'm able to be in a position to help him. If I wouldn't have made that follow-up phone call to see how he's doing, I wouldn't have known about his cabinet business. In fact, I already gave him one referral to somebody that's looking to do new cabinets in the kitchen. So I like that you're purposeful about what you do. You don't just go out and show houses and get it. You're educating people. You're teaching them to create wealth, and you're helping them. You're building a relationship and understanding the process where some people just miss the boat on.
Yeah.